What's up, guys? It's Tasteless and Valdez. Welcome to another day of Pro League 2016. Wait for it. There we are.
It's Taste and
The
Valdez.
two least photogenic men in the world down there at the bottom right side of your screen. Anyways, today we got very exciting matches. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the results are. We've already had some upsets, some pretty wild games.
Yeah, it's been fun so far, but tonight, man, we got the Telecom Wars coming in really soon.
Wars of the Telecoms.
Really soon in the round this time. So every single game you can expect to be good. And the first one is going to be Leenock versus INnoVation. And definitely a big one here. Leenock going over to KT recently, and INnoVation not doing quite as well as he's known to be doing. It's
been pretty interesting, Valdez, and there's a couple little factoids here I think we can kind of take away from this. We did see in Wings of Liberty the fall of some great kings as Heart of the Swarm came out.
Yeah.
And we might be seeing the same thing here right now. I know that, and I mean, look, I'm guilty of the same thing that a lot of people have done. I always assume, well, this guy's so good, I mean, obviously he's never going to lose.
Yeah.
This title.
Yeah.
I mean, even though a lot of times be like, oh, well, you never know, somebody could upset somebody. I'm still surprised, right, when INnoVation is not doing as well in Legacy of the Void.
Yeah, it's just a name that everybody has associated with greatness up until now. This guy is a champion. He comes in every single time for Pro League. He's a big hitter. Gets about 20 wins for the seasons. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
Tasteless. But definitely not doing quite as well as has his record does state.
His opponent here, Leenock, a player who's been around for a very long time, one of the real veterans and long-standing solid players here throughout all of Starcraft too. It's gonna be pretty wild to see exactly who comes out on top here. I personally predicted INnoVation. Maybe I'm one of those guys that's still stuck on the buzz from Heart of the Swarm and how dominant he was, and I just assumed, because initially when I was playing Legacy, I was playing a lot of Terran, like right when it came out, especially, and I was thinking,
yeah, me too.
I was thinking, it's not, I don't feel like Terran's that different from.
No, I think
right?
it's like the least changed race.
I mean, minus Medevac Siege Tank, which is
flying siege tanks. That's a pretty big change.
Which is a big change, but I mean, compared to the other races, I felt like, okay, it's similar enough, so somebody like INnoVation should be able to switch over. But with how different the other races are, especially Zerg and Protoss, well, only Zerg and Protoss, because they play so differently, I guess it's taken INnoVation a little bit longer to adapt.
Yeah, well, here we do have a record so far. SK Telecom and KT Rolster up at the top. The Afrika Freaks have played one extra game, so even though they do have a better record, I suppose, than SK Telecom and KT Rolster, they're still, or rather only above KT Rolster. They're still not up there because the other two have to play their games. And here are the matches tonight for our first two teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's been a little bit of a split on who's actually the favorite team here. We got a lot of strong players. KT looking very good. I think maybe most people would lean towards SK. What do you think?
I don't know, to be honest. Leenock going over to KT Rolster. He's a fantastic player, as you mentioned. Now he's joining one of the best teams. INnoVation not doing quite as good. Stats showing incredible PvP recently. Youngster's definitely going to have a hard time with that matchup. TY, one of the better Terrans so far for Legacy of the Void.
Oh, he might even be the best, man.
Yeah.
He's looking really solid.
The only guy for KT that I'm not really confident in is Zest tonight.
How dare you? Hold your tongue.
Well, it's not because of Zest. It's because of Dark. He's facing Dark. This guy is like a... Dark was really good. Now he's really good.
Yeah, I mean,
bringing the hardcore analysis tonight, Tasteless.
Yeah, one guy's good, but the other guy's like really good. No, I mean, I think this is actually today the ace match might be the most critical match. Assuming we get there, and I think we will. I think we will have 5 games here.
It definitely can get there. I mean, there's a ton of pressure on these players, don't forget, because it is the Telecom Wars. This is a big rivalry that we do have all the time over here for Pro League, and really anything can happen. All 8 of these players are fantastic, and as you were saying, upsets happen, and I would be surprised if they do tonight, just because of the amount of pressure and, maybe some nerves that these players are feeling.
Yeah, our match is actually loading up now. You can see definitely a difference as far as the coaches viewing where their players are at, but let's see what actually it all comes down to in this game. You know, in a situation like this, it's essentially a best of one for these two guys. You know, the team depends on it, but whatever, if you had to win a game, like gun to your head, do whatever it takes to beat this player, we're going to see what that is right here, right now. By the way, I'm digging Leenock's
I love the hair. Let's take a look at the predictions here. Tasteless joining the Koreans tonight, going with INnoVation.
That's right. Might as well be Korean. My predictions are so good.
And me, Wolf, and GTR are going with Leenock here.
Let's see what actually happens here, because, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's a tough one. INnoVation, it's really rocky trying to predict. You know, he had a bad show initially in SSL. Got wrecked by Stork, but he still looks really good when he plays. I don't know. I guess we're getting closer to finding out exactly where he is as game number 1 has loaded up. In the upper left, in the red, in the purple, this time Leenock.
Yeah.
And in the bottom left, in the orange, INnoVation.
So
I used to have my hair that color. The color.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I knew you had it blue, and I think red.
I've had it blue, red. Well, I had it blue. I've had it red. I've had it pink.
What would you say that color is? Purple. This guy is back with the signs with the boxes around the syllables of the player's name, and he makes creative puns.
I dig it. Yeah. You asked me what color I think Leenock's hair is? That's purple, right?
Yeah, I think that's purple.
All right.
It's just I know there are some people out there looking at you, Wolf. Looking at you, Wolf, who would say that's pink.
That's
or
not pink.
like magenta or something.
No. I only do the basic colors, okay? I'm like, well, Tasteless, that's the color taupe. I'm like, no. Not in my world. We're not using these kind of colors.
That's lavender Tasteless.
That's lavender
Tasteless.
Purple. Yeah.
Get it together, Tasteless.
And then what else? I tried to think what other colors I had my hair. I had a mohawk.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What color was that?
That was black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then most of the time my hair is colored black.
Yeah.
Because my natural hair color now, it's slowly becoming white. As I'm getting older, so I'm going to keep the dyeing tradition alive, I think, for a long time. Anyways, into our game here, we have a quick Reaper coming out now.
Yeah, you can get over to the Zerg's base on this map really quickly with that Reaper. Doesn't surprise me that he's going for this Reaper expand.
No, not at all.
Leenock is sometimes a really tricky player as well. You want to make sure that he's not doing anything crazy. You want to get that scouting information. I mean, part of the reason I voted for Leenock as well is because this guy is fantastic for preparing for best of ones and, you know, coming out here and sniping an opponent. And INnoVation just wants to make sure that doesn't happen to him.
All right, we have Lings. Excuse me. We have Lings getting close to hatching out here, and this is kind of a similar Reaper dance that we've seen, you know, even back to the early days of this matchup, where he's going to try to keep as many Lings alive as possible, wait for the Queen to hatch, and eventually zone out the Reaper. The Reaper may be used, possibly even suicided in later on for scouting. Otherwise, it'll be used to try to control creep at the exterior of the Zerg second base.
Really nice micro so far from Leenock. He hasn't lost a single Zergling. And in fact, they do all live. The Queen comes out, as you were saying, that's going to push this Reaper away for now. And Leenock just staying on 2 base here.
Well, let's see if he goes for a drop here. If I was Terran, which I have been for good chunks of when I'm playing Legacy, I think drop is, you know, why would you not do that? Only problem on this map is that occasionally there's like some reverse psychology you want to use because it's so easy to drop on this map that occasionally they're much more ready for that than, you know, a more generic, like a 4-player map. Yeah,
and you could like fake a drop or an aggressive move and then just take a third base, something like that. You see Leenock is desperately trying to get that information, but the Marines are in place, and INnoVation has placed his buildings in a really nice spot away from the ledge. So Leenock struggling right now to get any information on INnoVation.
Yeah, so far he's definitely doing a good job keeping him locked out here. And we are having that tank come up here. Now, TVZ Legacy of the Void, it's interesting. We've always seen Terran pushes evolve. I mean, that's sort of, I would say that's like the quintessential StarCraft matchup, actually, is TVZ.
Yeah.
Even though I played Protoss for most of my life, I think most people would agree that that's the one that sticks out in their mind the most. But, you know, over the years of StarCraft, the pushes have changed. You know, we started out in Brood War with building pushes, and then we went into eventually medic marine science vessel pushes. And when I say building, I mean making bunkers and turrets.
Yeah,
this is actually back in vanilla, guys. Then StarCraft 2 came out. It was a siege tank comboed with the marine medevac. Eventually, we had Widow Mines and Heart of the Swarm. And now in this, it's back to siege tanks with the medevac being microing the tank back to optimize tank damage. But why not start out, in this case, with a harass build, using that tank as you build that foundation of Terran units. You know, you're getting your stim, you're getting your other upgrades, producing the barracks. This is a great way to start out because it keeps Zerg honest.
Yeah, he's really not pushing his boundaries right now. He's just letting this tank fly around, keeping, as you said, Leenock honest and just back in his base defending and not putting any pressure. I love the fact that INnoVation made one Viking, and he's pushing back and killing all of these overlords on the map. There was one behind his natural, and now there are two still out on the map. He might be able to get one more. And that's just going to be really nice for, again, denying information from Leenock and just getting control of this middle area, the skies around here.
Yeah, I think this so far, INnoVation's build really sick, man. I'm really digging the way he's approached this. And this is smart because instead of relying on a drop that's intended to do a lot of damage, he went for a controlling play with that medevac siege tank. You know, it may or may not kill anything, but like, you know, as we said, keeping Zerg on his tippy toes. But then the follow-up with the Viking is going to drive out those overlords to make drops a lot more dangerous and a lot more surprising for Leenock later on. So right now, don't know if INnoVation's going to win, but I definitely like the way he's playing. And I also love that tank put there at the watchtower, since you can pick it up and micro it away so easily.
Yeah.
I guess we know in this matchup, Terran always gets that watchtower if they play like this, right? I don't know what Zerg could do to, you know, really deny that.
Yeah, I mean, he'd have to send out his lings, but again, you have the vision from the medevac.
Yeah, then you just pick up the tank and go back and blow up the lings and just micro them forward.
Lings can't do anything against a flying tank. We got our first push coming out here from INnoVation, and the Baneling Nest is not even completed yet for Leenock. He's going to rely on only lings and queens here.
All right, the lings are coming down now, but apparently there's just not enough. The Marines doing a great job, but queens now going down, and even though there was a surround, it just simply was too much. I think actually this game might have just ended, man.
It may just have.
He's making 9 mutas. Hold up.
Yeah, the mutas are going to come out, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to deal with this amount.
Well, if you can actually get him as they hatch, he actually should be going right on top of the hatchery here because he would have ideally wanted to gun down those mutas.
He's got to try to fight here with the drones. Oh, man, they're running in. Not much they can do against this many Marines. 19 have gone down. And now INnoVation has just got a chokehold. GG.
Damn, get out, Leenock. That was sick.
Oh, man.
Okay, so I got to say, man, that build, everything about that build, you see him walking by, that build made perfect sense, okay?
Yeah.
Control them, keep them up against the ropes with that siege tank control. Drive out all the overlords to keep them insecure about drops. Control the tower with the tank and the medevac, and then do a fast push. I mean, that push came there so fast, there was no way Leenock could have been prepared.
Yeah, I was expecting Leenock to maybe go for something aggressive or to, I don't know, put the pressure, but he was just not prepared at all. He kind of looks like he wasn't even like paying attention, and especially on that map, it is so hard to deal with a push like that. It took him like 10 minutes to walk from his natural into the natural of Leenock. Not 10 minutes, 10 seconds to walk from natural to natural.
No.
And the Baneling Nest
so
wasn't even
fast.
made yet.
And that was actually timed out so that he would always have that push. I mean, that would be synced up exactly with stim. I mean, it was not a lot of Marines, okay? It was almost the bare minimum.
Yeah,
and even though the Lings got the surround, it's 2 siege tanks, so the splash distributes quite nicely.
Yeah, and you could see that Leenock was being a bit greedy, trying to get out the mutas first before even going for a Baneling Nest. He was just not prepared at all because of it. And I think INnoVation kind of saw that somehow. Maybe with the medevac that was flying around with that tank. By the way, that also scouts, the one thing we didn't really mention.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can orbit around the perimeter of the base and figure out what
Get
exactly.
an idea, you know, of what's going on. So Leenock just didn't have the correct buildings, the correct units to stop a push like that. And as I said before, INnoVation just had to walk like 10 seconds, and he was there. Yeah. It's crazy, man.
Well, INnoVation still has it. I mean, he's still looking really good. So I guess it's important to highlight, it's not necessarily that he's fallen off. There are some new players that are coming up that seem to be overshadowing him, but he's still got some strats, still got some builds, still has some fantastic game understanding. So that's one win right there, coming from INnoVation.
SKT doing a good job so far. Kind of upset, kind of frustrated that I didn't vote for INnoVation there, especially given the map. You know, that map seems pretty brutal for this
I'll
matchup.
tell you, man, when I voted for him, I wasn't actually taking the map into as much account as I just thought. You know, I'm fairly certain that INnoVation would probably be beating Leenock nowadays, but I mean,
I expected more tasteless from Leenock. what can I say?
Well, who do we have next?
Well, we got Stats versus
the next so fast. I feel like we're not even in the rhythm yet. You know, that was.
It's like that game didn't even happen. It ended
I
so
actually
fast.
thought it was going to be a much longer game. Unless there was some immediate cheese, I was pretty sure that we were going to have a very long, drawn-out game. Because Leenock's got some great endgame ZVT and INnoVation.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody can forget what this guy looks like when he's maxing out and pushing and stuff. So, yeah, I guess we're going on to match number 2 right away.
Yeah, match number 2 going to be Stats and, oh my God.
Smooth move, guys.